Yeah. Turned off. That was weird. Hey, Jason. How are you, man? Basically, yeah, journey. Yeah, I got a show. I keep forgetting that. I lead a quiet life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just peace. I live a peaceful life. So I got to show that. I don't have drama. I don't have, stuff in my ear. Even the stuff that I watch on, I don't watch TV. I very rarely put the TV on. I've got a beautiful TV. I've got a really nice TV. It'd be good if you played a game on it or if you watch The Simpsons. It's really good if you watch The Simpsons or if you watch a cartoon, Batman or something like that, because of the colours and the detailing. I really enjoy that. Isn't it weird at my age that I still enjoy Batman? I still like watching a Batman. I'll sit there watching Looney Tunes, anything that gives me a bit of joy, a bit of I don't know, peace. You know, that's all I'm trying to find. That's all I think any man. I think that's all we ever really want, mate. We all want to come home from work and your wife's happy and your kids are there and they're smiling and they're happy to see you and she gives you a kiss as you get in the door, you know, and everything is just natural. It's just natural. Something is dirty, you clean it. If it's dinner time, it's time to cook. What do you feel like? I don't know. Okay, then I'll cook dinner. You know, it should be natural instead of argumentative and negative and everything's a discussion. You know what I mean? You'll find it a lot more peaceful. Um, just the loneliness part of it. That's all. You got to get over that hurdle, boys. The loneliness part. Being alone. That was my hardest thing. That was my hardest thing back then. Now, not so hard. Okay, not so hard because I'm used to it. But back then, I was in love. I wanted to be married. I wanted to be a husband and a father. So I missed all of that. Yeah? Um, you're not allowed to grab the person. You're not allowed to show affection. You're not allowed to, you would get physically hit, for even showing an affection. So I didn't have any of that. I know it exists. I know it's possible. You know, it was like something that eluded me. It was like there, but I couldn't get it. As a man, and it was just weird. I've never ever had that, ever, ever, ever. Um, Escape 67 Dobby while running from biggest. No, I've never played any of that. Uh, I'm just a cleaner, like just a cleaner. Like I take care of it. Like I don't take care of him. I get paid for 2 days a week. Um, this is a lot easier now. This client, but the other client just go in and clean their fucking shit. You know what I mean? You get 4 hours. But I'm thankful. Okay, just for now, and I don't have transport. I don't have a car. So anywhere I've got to go, it's got to be public transport. And it's just lucky that this client is on this bus route, so I can take a 15-minute bus ride and I'm there. Whereas the other people, I had to meet up the corner up here and they would pick me up and we'd go over there because it was just I didn't understand what he meant by it's a big job. And I'm thinking to myself, a big job? What do you mean a big job? He said, I don't know how to describe it to you, Charles. He said, I really don't. He said, just put your mask on, put your gloves on. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, I'm serious. He said, that's why I'm asking you for the help today. He said, but tomorrow you're going to be dealing with Mr. Mr. Burt, rah, 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 rah. And he's just an old man. You know, he's not able to get a packet of cigarettes. He's not able to. He's old, yeah. He's a nice guy, yeah, and he's a war veteran. He's a war vet, so he's funny, and I don't mind doing things for him. He's not commanding. He's not demanding. He asks. He asks. He asks, and then I'm over there, and he doesn't like to freeze meat. So he'll go out and do his shopping. I'll take him shopping, right? He'll go out and do his shopping, comes home with his meat, puts all the meat in the fridge. And then by about Wednesday, Thursday, he pulls apart the meat that he wants. He'll take a piece of pork chop, he'll have a piece of beef for one next night, he'll have something else the next night, right? But he doesn't freeze anything. He doesn't freeze anything. So what I'm saying to you is there's one pork chop left, there's one fucking beef steak left, there's one chicken breast left, because he says once it's opened it's not fresh. So I don't argue with the guy. I don't say shit, but I end up with the beef. I end up with the piece of steak. I end up with the pork chop. It's a pretty cool arrangement, brother. You know what I mean? I walk out with a fucking bit of dinner in my hand. I'm happy. I don't have to go down to the supermarket. It's getting increasingly impossible for people to survive. I don't know how people do it. I'm on my own. I've only got me to think about, but I don't know how people are surviving. Because I'm walking in there, man, the supermarket, and I'm not buying anything. I am buying milk and bread. I go down and buy my chocolate milks now and my coffee milk. 2 weeks because I'm on Centrelink. And I'll buy some snacks, which are just fucking not worth the money buying. They're just horrible. This is the best ham to buy because we're all a fan of ham, right? But this particular brand is only $6 for 500 grams. 4x4 is 32, so 320 grams. Whereas the only other ham that's available there is Don ham, and that is $6 for 80 grams. $6 for 80 grams of ham, so less than 100 grams. What fucking world do we live in? What world do we live in? Like they're making it even expensive for you to make a ham and cheese sandwich, mate. A fucking a ham and cheese omelette in the morning for yourself. Bacon and eggs in the morning for yourself. They're taking it, you know what I mean? Like they're making my life really, really hard. These give profit gouging corporations. I wouldn't think so bad if the profit range wasn't so huge. Seriously, dudes, $4.8 billion the last 6 months. The last 6 months in profit. Profit. You understand? Profit? Good God. So they're absolutely maximising. They're maximising their thing, boys. They're gouging, and I believe it's deliberate. I believe it's to keep us struggling, to keep us in that slave mentality. That slave mentality, boys. When you wake up and you got fucking nothing, and you're working all week, you can't even go to the supermarket, you can't afford fucking shit. You can't go fucking bowling anymore. You can't afford a tennis fucking racket. Like you may as well just go and hit a ball against a wall. You know what I mean? Because everything else is absolute maximum cost. And the only thing that matters to me really is a roof over my head. To maintain this roof, okay? Maintain my existence so that I don't end up in a fucking tent. Because a lot of us are going to end up in a tent. A lot of us are. A lot of us are just going to get, going to get outpriced. Is that the word? Outpriced? So that we can't even afford to where we are. Can't even afford to, I was watching a video this morning, a TikTok girl, 24 years old, works full-time job, and she is fucking basically crying. She can't afford anything. She pays $420 for a bungalow out the back of somebody else's home, and that's $420 a week out of her wage. She says, I pay my car. She says, and I buy my groceries, and I'm left with nothing. She says, I can't even walk in and buy, she's got her nails done. She said, I got my nails done. So they've got to work it all week, mate, just to get her nails done, because the rest of it goes towards her bills and, yeah, but who knows what their life is like, really. I as part of Centrelink, you and I both know you've got to send away. You and I both know it's not a free trip. You've got to have a maximum job hunting thing. You know what I'm saying? And I do all of that. I do all of that, boys. I swear. I'll sit there sending off all the way down the list. But this is the best that I've been able to arrange so far. I'm okay. I've got a couple of days' work. I've got my own little apartment, a peaceful life. You know what I mean? I can't complain compared to where I was before, which was just horrible, horrible. And the more time that goes on, and the more that I can reflect back, I realise how horrible it was. I realise how just, and I think to myself, nah, it's just me, it's just me, right? I'm such a bad fucking person, right? That I really deserved all of that, right? I really deserved, right? And then I'll go and watch maths. And then it reminds me that these women are fucking nightmares, bro. They're fucking nightmares. Every single one of them are just a fucking nightmare. They're just unhappy, entitled. They really are. And at the drop of a hat, just you saying, and they're offended at just something, that's it. That's it for you. And they'll be nice and nice in front of you, and behind your back, they're fucking giving you the knife, mate. They're absolutely giving you the knife, right? Nasty, aren't they? They can turn really, really nasty, man, and make your life a misery, just an absolute misery. Oh, and I watch maths, and it reminds me that I'm thankful. I am, man. I'm thankful. So I got an itchy nose. I'm thankful, man. I'm not chasing the love. You know what I mean? I'm not chasing it. I used to chase it before because I used to love women, mate. I've always had a girlfriend, boys. Always. I was single for 5 years before I met that person. It was deliberate. I was looking for a wife. I was looking for something special. That's what I was waiting for. Something genuine, something good. So that's why I waited. I didn't just settle for the fucking women that I was fucking while I was in Australia. You know what I'm saying? I did my ducking and diving, but at the same time I organised a ticket and I got sold fucking everything that I had and got there and went. Yeah? So it was for me, it was like God shining down. It was like, you know what I mean? Showing you a path. It's either you take it or you don't take it. It's up to you. So sell everything, get the backpack on and just go, right? But nowadays, good luck to you. I am awful, mate. I am awful. Gonna go up in value. Women won't be able to survive alone. No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine, mate. They're more masculine than you are. They'll be fine. They're so fucking masculine. Are you kidding me? Fucking mate. Half these women, sorry man, I've got to change. Half these women would fucking thrash us, mate. Thrash us. Do you realise that? Do you realise how much, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, have you ever copped an elbow off one of these chicks? Have you ever copped a fucking elbow? Mate, mine fucking give you one of that in the ribs and it puts you down, bro. Like, I'm just got to get changed. Like, that shit hurts, man. Have you ever been donkey kicked by a woman, mate? I mean, these chicks, they hit hard, man. They don't hit soft, bro. They hit hard. They want to make a point, Fucking don't touch me again, rah, rah. Like, damn, did I deserve that? Like, I would turn around to the person and say, did I deserve that? Honestly? All I did is put my arm around you while we're walking, and you bang me straight into the ribs. How is that worth that? You know, how is that punishment deserved? You know, so, and what these chicks do, man, is they fuck with your brain because you're not going to do that again, right? And when they've gotten rid of you and you're on your own, you're still not going to do it. The next chick you think of, man, you're gonna and you go to put your arm around her, you're gonna think, am I gonna get fucking jabbed? Seriously, bro, it's already happened to me before. That chick in the shopping centre that I was having lunch with, and she went and was sitting having lunch, and she went to hold my hand, and I pulled my hand back because I thought she was gonna slap my hand like this fucking person would, right? So it ruined that chance. It ruined that chance. I ruined it by pulling my hand away. And that just showed me that I'm not ready. You know, it showed me that I'm not ready. That's all it did, boys. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to have this. You know, maybe the rejection was me going, hang on a minute, I'm not interested in a replacement or whatever. I was just having some lunch. You know, I wanted some company. Thought I would invite you for lunch. And that's exactly what I did. I paid for the meal. And I invited the person. So, and I enjoyed the company, but I screwed it up. I screwed it up by pulling my hand back. It made her think I was rejecting her. That's last minute. I haven't got any DRUGSs, mate. You know, I haven't got any. Sorry to disappoint you. No. Talking about DRUGSs, it was a sad thing to watch the Spider Boy back into it again. Like, I couldn't believe it, dude, after everything the guy's been through, after all the shit and all the fucking jail time and all the psych stuff and all the doctor's stuff and the mother and everything else. And here we are, man, this time later, and he's sucking on a fucking bed sheet, mate, trying to get some shard. You know what I'm saying? It was a bit of a sad thing to, you know, sold all of his social media channels on TikTok. Not that they would matter anything, 500,000 this or whatever, 500,000 people, whatever, but they're all trolls. They're not paying clients. It's trolls. The whole thing's 500,000 people of trolls. So he sold all of them, got the money together, and went and spent it on the old fucking glass barbecue. And he's sitting back there on the glass barbecue again, mate. It was a sad thing to watch. They are lost. That is how the youth is today. It's an extreme version of the youth, but it is a broad look at the youth these days. What have they got? What have the youth got at the age of 17 or 18? Are they going to get a job? Are they going to be able to go out and get an apartment, or go out or they got to go and there's no job and you've got to live with 4 other people in a house? You know, two of them are on the DRUGSs big time. They're in the living room. They're doing their best in the living room. You've got it all around you everywhere you go, and you want to end up the way they are. You know what I'm saying? There's not much education going on. Can't add up what's 34 and 66. They can't add it. Okay? There's multiple videos out there where the guy is just walking along talking to him, how much is this, what does this add up to, what is that? They can't. There is none. It doesn't exist. Okay? They're fucking stupid, mate, is what I'm saying here. They end up real stupid. Okay? There's no education, mate. You know, the education is diversity and equity and, you know, inclusion. That's the education they've got. So they don't have trades. They don't have anything that they can go back and rely on and grow up. I mean, my old man, he kept me working, mate, all the way through. I was on the back of a truck, mate, handing out stock. There wasn't many educations like that, okay? I mean, at least it gave me some kind of avenue, the market, stock, it gave me some kind of a pathway. Whereas, without a trade, leaving back when I was young, you had no, well, what are you going to do? You've got to go and get a job. Okay? You've seen how they are, man. They've got no patience, these kids. None. And a very short attention span, bro. Very, very short attention span, and they are not smart, and they think they are geniuses. They think they are very, very clever. And in reality, they're dumb as fuck. Okay? And you can't teach them anything. You can't tell them anything. They know everything. So good luck to them. They're going to have a very, very hard, and then they live in the dreamland, and then they meet one of these chicks like that's on maths, okay? And in front of you, they're all really nicey, right? But in reality, they're destruction, mate. They are destruction walking, bro. They are absolutely destruction walking, okay? Now, I don't know if you've caught up with the latest thing of maths, mate, but that one woman, Gia, that one woman has destroyed every single marriage that was on that program. Just that one woman alone. Just in the back, just mentioning it to the other girls in their ears, and she has managed to break up every single marriage. Every single one. And sit back and watch it all happen. And then deny it all. Deny, right? But it's all recorded. And yeah, you can't deny the recordings. And she is in the background pulling the strings. Okay? And she destroyed every single marriage that was on that season. All of them. She did it alone. Just by getting into the ear of the other person. And that is how destructive they are. She found joy and happiness in their arguing and their separating and everything else. That made her happy. Okay? And then she gets to walk away. She got rid of that husband, walks away and goes with the new bloke, Alan. Goes with Alan, okay? she just fucking destroyed everything. She's like a fucking atom bomb. That chick is an atom bomb. She totally destroyed every single relationship on the entire show, and then she just walks out and gets herself another bloke and goes on the front of Women's Day. And she gets celebrated. Oh, it's a nice cup of tea, boys. And she got celebrated. They are as toxic as they can be. They're just toxic. I watched another TikTok video this morning, the DNA ones, is that my child, and the woman sat there in front of her husband, straight to his face and lied. You don't know it's a lie. You think she's telling the truth. They're all both the children are yours. I wouldn't do that. I love you. It never happened. Rah, rah. Mate, both of the kids aren't his. Both of them. Both of the children aren't his. And when she gets found out, she just stands there and smiles. She has no regret, no accountability. She has stepped out twice in the marriage and had children by another bloke, and he is raising those children, and he has suspicions about it. They just doesn't feel. There's just something not right. He said, so they had the DNA, and bang, both of the kids aren't his. Gentlemen, they will stand there and fucking lie to your face. Lie to your face, just absolutely lie to you. And the whole time they themselves are convinced that they're not. And when they're found out, there is nothing There is no accountability, none. I swear to you, this woman just looked at the guy and said that they're your kids, though. You can, we're raising them. You've been raising them for the last 5 years. What's the problem? what's the problem? It doesn't, like the Sheila wanted to be shagged by the bloke that was the bad boy. She wanted that. She wanted to be ridden fucking hard, man, hard. But she goes home to the husband and he's not allowed to touch it. He's not allowed to fucking touch it. Okay? The other guy's fucking pounding it, mate. He's absolutely thrashing it, right? But the husband who's paying the bills, who is home loyal and who's home with the children, he doesn't even get a look in. He doesn't even get a look in, bro. Okay? He's not shagging it, mate. The other bloke is. Okay? He's just paying for all of it. He's just married to it. It was a frightening, eye-awakening video, man. Like the poor guy. Thank God that he's, questioned it a little bit and got some tests done and stuff like that. Because there's no, there's no I'm sorry. None of these videos you watch to Sheila is sorry, man. She's sorry she got busted, but she's not sorry for what she's done, But Gia, that woman Gia, mate, you need her in some kind of world war thing going on. Okay, because she's a deep thinker. She's a deep thinker, boys. Gia. Mate, they don't need to throw any missiles. You just got to go and introduce Gia to the Israeli bloke and introduce Gia to Trump. And, mate, Gia will have them both arguing. It'll be by the end of the afternoon, they'll be fighting each other. They won't be fighting any other country. They'll be too busy, arguing with each other. She's a genius, mate. These women are genius at it. It's not something that they're not familiar with, bro. They're very, very clever, man. Trust me, they're very, very clever. Oh, no, I don't do any of this toxic stuff anymore. I'm not yelling and screaming to the, I have no reason to do that. And then they would look at me and go, see, that's why you don't see your daughter, because you're crazy. Look how you talk, look how you act, rah, rah. They'll just confirm to themselves, And yelling and screaming, mate, who does that attract? You know what I mean? Who's going to be watching you then, mate? A whole bunch of fucking stooges, bro. A whole bunch of people that just want to see harm come to you. They want to harm you, Wherever I go, they make phone calls. Wherever I go. I've got fucking blue coats searching me and shit. So, no, I don't need any of that anymore. Like, I really don't. And my front door's open. My front door's open. It's not like I'm hiding anything, mate. Got nothing to hide. There's nothing illegal here, mate. There's nothing here. I went for an interesting job. These people were, I don't know how they fucking live, mate. But I'm not walking back in there again. Like, I asked the guy, man, I don't want to go back there, dude. He said, no, neither of us do. He said, neither of us do, bro. Trust me. He said, but hey, that's the job for the day. But I do thank you for your help and stuff like that. But it is definitely a gloves on, mask on situation. This is a grown man, 26 years old, Australian. Doesn't appear to be, in the head or whatever. But mate, what a fucking shithole. And this is a housing place, the government gives you the house. It costs you $110 a week or whatever it is. And I don't know, they just don't respect the joint. He lives like a pig, like absolute pig. And he's 24, 25. You walk in the front door, because there's tiling at the front door there. And then you've got the living room, it's all carpeted, and it goes into the kitchen, normal kitchen tiles, floor, or whatever you call it.
linoleum or whatever it is. But just fucking stinks. Just absolutely, just even through the mask. Just how is a person living like this? So you walk in there, man, and the floor, the tiling is just fucking, just, it's just disgusting. I don't know how to describe it. Mud, oil, whatever, all over the tiling at the front door. Shoes all over the fucking front. Um, the floor over here, you go into the living room and it's just full of pizza boxes, Hungry Jacks, Kentucky Fried, you name it, it's just sitting there. It's like piled up, like just all over the floor, all over the table, all over the lounge. There's just shit everywhere. So you look at it all. Just I haven't even walked in. This is just at the first two or three steps in, bro. And then you look at him and you go, how is it possible that you wouldn't just pick this up and throw it in the bin? You don't say anything because you get into trouble, okay? Because they're embarrassed or whatever, so that you get a complaint. So it's not worth saying anything. Um, but I think I mentioned it before. The guy, like the kitchen, is just like look, man, my counters are clean, okay? Like they're clean, man. This is from last night, my dinner. Even that's got water in it. This is my thing. I haven't scraped it off, because I want to feed the birds. So I go out to the back and I put the food on the grass for the birds. This is my chocolate cake. Put that back in there. But the rest of it is clean, man. But he's piled with dishes. Dishes, 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 shit, rubbish, rubbish. Filthy. The actual stove, like mine's pretty clean, right? Um, but he's, mate, encrusted with fucking shit. And there's maggots in it. There's fucking maggots on top of the stove. There's maggots crawling through the shit on the stove. Anyway, I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to do this? Fucking, how am I going to do this? She's like this, right? Dude, I got a scraper. I got a fucking scraper. I heated the fucking. I heated the one of the fucking things on, turned the heating on, and let it heat for a little bit, and then just scraped it down like with one of these. But it was plastic. His was plastic one. And then scraped the whole thing down and put it into the bin. I didn't touch it at all. I didn't touch anything on the fucking thing at all. And then when I scraped the majority of it, all this fucking maggoty shit off it, I put the hot water from the kettle. Fucking rubbish everywhere, man. Um, I don't think I do any good on maths, mate. I have no patience for it. I don't have patience. I don't have patience for a lot of things anymore. I don't, not interested in listening to it or whatever. I just walk away, boys. Just walk away. Don't waste your time with it. Don't even bother with it. Um, just don't even waste your mindset on it. Um, I think we're going to walking into a big, problem in the next 6 months, 12 months. Trump and Ishmael are not going to end anything. They're not going to end anything, man. And Mister Iran, well, he's in it for the long haul. And I think you can't hammer that guy into it anymore. Now they want to do a ground invasion. A ground invasion. They just got hold of Congress and asked for $200 billion to do a ground invasion of Iran. Does that sound like a good idea to you? These people are warmongering, evil Satanists who are genocidal, regime. You know what I mean? Like they do not stop. And as soon as one missile hits any of their building, oh, it's all over the news. It's all over 7, 9, and 10, and ABC, and oh look, Iran got a shot a missile into Ishmael, and look at this building. It's all these people, and these same people have flattened an entire country. There's not, it's only when only a single missile hits them that they start having a cry. And I find it shameful that they don't like a country that's got an army. They don't like a country that can defend itself. They want a country that has no defence at all. And they like to just go in there and just destroy it. Destroy it. Just destroy everybody. Everybody gets wiped out. And to them, to Ishmael, that's normal. Okay? That's completely normal. They're tearing apart Lebanon. They're completely destroying Lebanon, and they're hitting all the medics. They'll hit the media, the medics. They'll destroy the hospitals. They're exactly the same. The schools. They'll destroy exactly the same as they did in GAZA. It's the same game plan, and it's to morally get the people down. You start blowing those things up, and it destroys the morality of the people. That's what they're hoping to do. The same as they did in GAZA. It's the same game plan. So these people are homicidal, bro. These people are genocidal, homicidal fucking maniacs who only like it one way. One way. They don't like it if they get any fight back. That's no good. The chosen ones don't get any fire back. It's only us that does the firing. It's a pretty. It'll never end. It'll never end. They want total control over the whole region. So all of Lebanon, Beirut, all of those countries, man, those connecting countries that for the greater Israel picture, yeah, they'll destroy, and destroy until they get that plus more. They won't stop there. They will not stop there. No way. They're not going to get to their border, Ishmael, and they've got all their picture, the great Israel picture, right? You think they're going to sit back and go, yeah, we've done it, boys. This is it. We could just sit back. We've got the country that was promised to us. Do you reckon that'll be the end of that? Fuck no. They'll spend the next 100 years fucking destroying every single country that's around them, because then they'll say, oh, they're trying to destroy us. They're trying to destroy us. They're going to destroy us. They might destroy us. So they'll just go in there and wipe out everybody. Absolutely everybody. They don't feel safe. So unless it's totally flattened, everything is gone, everything is destroyed, and then they feel safe. And then they go to say to themselves, well, hang on a minute, no one's living on that land now, so we'll just go and grab that land. We'll just go and put a fence up and a post up and grab that land. And that's what they do. They're like grasshoppers, bro. Like fucking grasshoppers. They go in and they take over the land, they suck the fucking shit out of everything, and then they move on to a different part of the land and take everything. It all becomes grasshopper fucking territory. Yeah. How you doing, Vibrant? Yeah, I believe that too, man. I believe they are absolutely chaffing at the fucking jaws, mate. They are chaffing, just waiting to get in there. They just cannot wait. And for some reason, Orange Man went and asked Congress. Like, since when does he ever ask Congress? He just goes and does whatever he fucking wants. But for some reason, he needs $200 billion in funding, so he wants the Congress to approve it for a ground invasion. Like, these people are crazy, man. They'll happily send you there. They'll happily send me there. They'll happily send any one of us there, but they're nice and safe at home. Okay, they're thousands of kilometers away. They're nice and safe. Okay, and their family is safe. None of their family are going to go on the front lines, mate. None of them. But they'll happily call up and they'll call him up and say to him, can you go and help out America? Can you go and help us out? These people are going to destroy America, rah, rah. And even the veterans aren't doing it, mate. The veterans have stepped away. They have no interest in going back to combat, not for Ishmael. Because they're not doing it for them. They're doing it for Ishmael, the total genocidal, homicidal fucking state that it is. It's killed hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, man. There's just no doubt about it. They don't even know how many's under the rubble. They've got no idea of who is under the rubble, how many. Okay? And they try and keep the numbers down. They try and keep them down. But dude, there's, hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands. Even to this day, their ceasefire. Who would believe in America, Ishmael, when they say, we want a ceasefire? Who's going to believe that? Who's going to believe them when they say, come to a meeting, we're going to meet and for our freedom, we want to discuss the country's future. Because Ishmael will wipe you out. You turn up for the meeting, you leave the meeting, Ishmael will wipe you out. Absolutely. They will KILL everybody, okay, after the meeting. And then after that, they find out where the families are, and they KILL the families. And they actually wait for the blokes to go home to the family, and then they do the whole thing in one go. All the entire family. Not just one guy. Everybody. Mum, dad, sisters, brothers, children. They love children. Oh, they fucking love women and children, mate. It's their favourite thing, women and children. Okay? And you two, I hope you're well and hope you're happy. I haven't said that for a while, have I, boys? Oh, I do hope everyone is happy, healthy, and well. I hope you are going along in your life. Hopefully you found some love. Love is the hardest thing to find. And it's so very easy to lose. Yeah. And there's one thing that men want is a bit of love in their life. Someone that actually loves them. Shows that they care for them, smiles at them occasionally instead of looking at them like they're a piece of shit. The occasional smile would be nice. So no, I hope you got that in your life. It's a beautiful day in the neighbourhood, a beautiful day to be a neighbour. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbour? I'm better off than where I was before. Oh, fuck that, boys. Anything is better than where you were before, okay? The last 6 or 8 years have been pretty fucking ordinary, bro. Like, what a absolute heartache and head fuck. Just the whole time. Heartache and head fuck. That's it. The only rainbow that was fucking anything at all, it was Bubba. That's the only rainbow. That's it. That's the only reason at all. It's the only memory or anything that you could possibly have of that experience. Because, yeah. And, hey, these fucking women will blame you for everything, right? But you've got to remember, bro, you never spoke a fucking word to me. At all. So I don't know what the fuck you've got to complain about. 6 or 8 years in a fucking bed, mate. You didn't do shit. Okay? You laid there. You weren't taught. You ignored your own fucking partner. So for you to say that he's this or he's that or he's anything, love, he was fucking lucky he survived that fucking years, man. Because it was like talking to a wall, and then once they come up with, I no longer speak English, well, your relationship is over. They don't even speak your fucking language, mate. These bitches can look you in the face and go, I no longer speak your language. Who in the fuck do they think they are? They want to live under your roof. They want you to pay all the bills. They want you to fucking do everything as a husband, right? But they don't even speak your language. Fuck that. Fuck that. They have no right to do that to you, boys. Fucking none. None. And then when you complain about it or you're not happy about it, then they arc up at you like it's your fault. It's your fucking fault. Bitch, you just sat there having a fucking conversation with my child. Both of you were talking to each other and you're all happy and smiling. And then I ask you, what was that about? And you tell me, oh, it was nothing. Oh, it was nothing. Yeah, fuck you when it was nothing. Okay? That's how they destroy your fucking mentality and your whole thing. You know, they're happy to put a divide between you, your child, your relationship, your fucking marriage. They're happy to do that. You know, they'll sit there smiling about it. And just watch these programs. Watch Maths. My Godfather. That shit is scary. You know, because it's not just me. These women are fucking crazy. They're fucking loopy. Okay? They're not all there. Okay? And one fucking woman, Gia, was able to destroy every single marriage that was there. Marriage. That one woman, her backroom fucking da-da-da-da-da-da-da, destroyed every single marriage on that program. She did, alone. She was able to get in the ear and turn the person. Okay? So it didn't take very much effort, mate. Fucking do it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? She was able to destroy every single one of those marriages by just being in the ear of the wife. Just having a few words here and there. You know, a few private discussions that weren't part of the show that get released later. And you find out what she was saying to the other wives. Mate, give me a break. It only took one Jezebel. One fucking Jezebel, mate. And these women were happy with their husbands. Remember that. Some of these women they spent their entire time in drama. There's no such thing as a marriage. They spent their entire time backwards and forwards arguing, drama. You know, got to a point where the husband's man, Danny, says to Beck, I've just had enough of the drama. I really have. You know, I came here to concentrate on a marriage and a relationship and trying to get to know someone, and I've spent my entire time every day in drama. And that is what it is. That pretty much nails it down to a T, bro. I mean, they are not happy unless there's some kind of drama, some kind of problem, something that they can think badly about and argue about and not be happy about. They cling on to that. They cling on to it. Like being out on the ocean, fucking sinking the Titanic, mate, and the bitch fucking grabs the fucking ring, mate, to survive out in the ocean. You know, they sunk the ship. Now they're looking for the life buoy, okay, the life raft. It's exactly the same thing. You know, they're like fucking seriously watching that stuff. And I just couldn't believe this one woman was able to destroy every single marriage that was on Maths this year. Every one of them. Sit back, have a think about it, have a think about her hand in all of it, and she is the one connecting thing, that one person. So that is how fucking evil they are. This woman is so fucking evil that she would deliberately break up your fucking marriage and then sit back and enjoy it, have a smile. You look at her, she's smiling. She is smiling while they're arguing. She is happy that they're arguing. You know, she's happy she broke up the gay guy. Happy she broke up She is smiling because she gets off on it. She was able to pull the fuck strings, bro, and sit back and go, oh, you know, nothing to do with me, nothing to do with me. Even the messages that she used Juliet to show the messages that came from her phone, and then sit back and don't say anything and let Juliet cop everything about it. But she's the one that G'd Juliet up to show the messages. She's the one that pulled that string. Completely destroyed Joel, completely destroyed that marriage. One day they're happy, man. One day they were getting along. One day, rah. The next day, man, she's talking to Gia, and it's over. It's over. Okay? Yeah, women, all, okay? All, okay? I'm not going to go, oh, it's not all women. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, they don't get a free pass. Okay, they don't get a free pass, mate. Regard all women. And you know why I say that, mate? Because they say all men. They don't say fucking some men. They say all men. Okay, all men need to do the men's behaviour course. All men need to go and have a psych report done. All men are this. All men are that. They don't give any free pass. Okay? None. You know, there's only a men's behaviour course, man. There's no women's behaviour course. Only a man has to do the behaviour course. You know, there's only psych reports for men. Women don't do psych reports. You know, there's parenting classes and after, you know, parenting after separation classes and children's classes that you're supposed to do. Yeah, they don't have to do any of them. Only you do. Only the man does. Okay? So there is no free passes for men. That's what I'm saying to you. They hit you up on every single angle. So why are you giving them a free pass? Why? You know? Considering that all of those doctors and all of those psych people that they make you go and visit, they're all women. They're all women. They hate you the minute you walk in. You're already at a disadvantage. They don't fucking like you, don't you understand that? Like that woman, the family report, just spent an hour or 2 hours listening to Quian tell her how much of a bad person I am, and I've done this and I've done that, and you know, and then you walk in after that. You think that person likes you? That person fucking hated me. I didn't even say hello, and I was already guilty. You know, like I'm looking at it. You've got 2 DV charges. I said, no, I don't. I don't have any DV, domestic violence charge. I don't have any of that. You know, I've never been charged with that or questioned or anything about that. Yes, they are. They're in the report right here. And I'm thinking to myself, what is she talking about? Because I don't have anything like that, right? They will turn the non-deleting of a picture on Facebook, 5 years ago when I had a court order, and through the scrolling on Facebook, they found a picture that I did in private, so I got a $900 fine. And then a few months later, someone wrote on my Facebook, "I hope you see Echo," and I liked the comment. I got a $600 fine. You know, both of the things is enticing others. You entice the person to make a comment. So they charge me with enticement. Okay, that's what I thought I was there for. So they turned that into a DV charge. So by the time you've gotten to the family report and I didn't even know. I had no idea. And they're looking at me like you've done this and you've done that. I'm thinking, I haven't done any of that. I've never laid a hand on the fucking person. I got upset a couple of times right at the end, like any normal human would be. But see, you're not allowed to be upset because that's a woman. That's a woman that you're upset about. So how dare you react that way? You know, how do you think that she felt when you were doing that? How do you think that it's all about fucking her. They don't give a fuck about me at all. I said, but this person just got done telling me rah, 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 rah. It doesn't matter. You know, you've got to be more of you can't talk to her that way. They just turn it back on you. They turn it back on you because there is no accountability, no responsibility, no nothing. It is you. You better fucking wake up. All right? Because if you get any money behind you, you get any paper behind you, any property and possessions behind you, that's the fucking target. You're not the target, son. The fucking property and resources are. And you'll end up like me. And maybe even in a worse position than me, because I'm lucky I've got this little fucking roof over my head, to be honest. You know, I pay, nearly 85% of my Centrelink towards my rent. You know, I'm left with $230 to last for 2 weeks from Ceno. You know, I have to manage I got a couple of days work, so it gives me an extra $100. You know, it's all under Centrelink, so I don't get into any trouble, you know, and I don't lose anything, you know, right? But I'm able to earn that extra little bit every week, so I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Yeah. I'm not obliged. If I don't want to go over and do it, I don't go. You know, if I don't, you know. But I've never said no. You know, once you don't say no, because then they won't call you again. Okay, so I always go. I always turn up, and I always help the bloke. And I don't complain. I just get the work done, and we get out of there. You know, the quicker we get it done, the quicker we're out. You know, fucking mate, just scrape that shit down. I told the guy, man, fuck that. Just scrape the fucking shit down, brother. Scrape it down, hit it with the hot water, scrape the fucking shit down again. Don't even touch that fucking maggoty fucking shit that's been on there for a month. This shit was encrusted onto the oven, man. It was disgusting. All of the floor was fucking disgusting. These people are disgusting. That's all there is to it. But if they weren't disgusting, we wouldn't have a job. There'd be nothing for us to do. I said to the guy, let it be disgusting, man. Next week we'll come in and clean the cut again. $70 an hour. Fucking not a problem. How you doing, man? I hope you're well, Hursty. Thank you, man, for saying hello. Thanks for saying hello. How you doing, Mr. Malcolm, Joey? I hope you're well, man. I hope you're happy, wealthy, and well. You know. Yeah, good to see you again too, man. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm no complaints, man. I'm having a cup of tea and I've got to go up later and give the old man a fucking packet of smokes. Other than that, I'm alright. No, I'm not complaining about shit, dude. Compared to where I was before, I'm happy, man. You know, I just don't see. I don't see echo. That's all. Well, I wasn't seeing echo anyway, was I? You know, the court orders weren't being obeyed anyway. You weren't seeing her anyway. The person had no intentions of letting you see your daughter. The person did everything that she could so you don't see your daughter. Okay? So even if you go to court and you're the good guy, rah rah rah, and everything else, they'll just look at you and go, well, your daughter doesn't want to see you now. Your daughter doesn't want to see you. So what do you want us to do? We can't force Quian to obey the court order. They've said that in fucking court, mate. So the minute you've said that to her, she realises that there's no accountability. I don't have to obey anything. I don't have to do anything, and they're not going to do anything. So that's what they do. They don't fucking obey anything, and then the court will look at you like it's your fault. You know, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's so fucking backwards. It's not a family law court. It's a woman's law court. It's a woman's law court. It's not a family law court. You know, they'll look at you and go, oh, you've got 2 DV charges. Like, no, I don't. I don't have any DV charges. It's a fucking picture that wasn't deleted on Facebook quick enough and a comment that I liked. That's not DV. So how did that get changed just from a normal fine, a disobeying a fucking court order, an AVO or whatever it is, it's a fine, to totally erase DV charge? How in the fuck did that happen? So now they've painted you as this person that, you know, harms your daughter, mate, you had no chance. They're just looking for any clink they can. So that's what I'm saying to you. Why are you wasting your fucking years with these fucking that's available to you? Why? You know, you don't even see your kids, man. You don't even see your kids. They take everything from you. Everything that they can. And it's not going to be enough. They will be sitting there complaining to fucking anybody they can how much of a bad guy you were. How you were the problem. Okay? Have you ever met a fucking chick where she says to you, like you ask about her ex or you ask about her past, and she has anything nice to say about any of her exes ever? Think about it. You won't. You won't. No, every single fucking woman you meet is going to say to you how much of a cunt her ex is. Every single one of them. You know, he's this, he did DV. They're all the same. Every fucking Sheila's the same about their ex. They all say the same thing about their ex. Okay? Every single one of them. And they don't have any, there's no accountability, boys, on their part. There's none. There's none, boys. It's a heartbreaking realisation that even these Sheilas that you watched on Maths, right? As soon as it come to any accountability, what did they do? What did they fucking do? The minute that the judges sat out on the lounge and they're fucking telling this chick, you know, it wasn't good behaviour, why did you do that? What did she do? She's not accountable. She has no accountability. So in her mind, she just gets up and she walks out. She walks out. She bails. Okay?
So they would rather plan the point I'm making to you is they would rather plan your exit, plan how to get rid of you, plan how to get your resources from you, rather than being accountable for their own actions and words. Okay? Now that's 2 of those wives out of the 6 that got up and walked out rather than be accountable for their own words and actions. And this proves to you over a broader range of women that that's how they react. That's how they react. As soon as they've been put onto the spot and there's proof, why did you do this? Why did you do that? They fucking turn because they're not accountable in their brain, in their mind. They are perfect. They are a perfect 10. So they're not accountable for anything. Okay? You are accountable. You are. But they are not. So that is why the women, these wives, they got up. They didn't even tell their husbands, mate. They're on the couch with the husband. They don't even tell the husband, mate. Husband, right? That's how it means nothing these days. Being a husband means nothing. Nothing. Because the person will already have made up her mind just by that conversation with the other woman, right? And as soon as she's heard something she doesn't like, she doesn't fucking account for it. She gets up and I'm just going to go to the toilet. And she's out of there. She's out of there. She leaves the husband sitting on the fucking couch, mate. And when he starts to twig what's going on and goes running after her, she pushes him away. She pushes him physically away. Remember, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that, gentlemen. Only she is. That's not assault. You see, if you did it, that's assault. That's abuse. That's, you putting it over the woman. But the woman doing it, when she pushed her husband out of the thing and then closed the door on him, no, that's just being, a woman, feeling good woman. Yeah? See the difference? You see the difference? It's right there in front of you. What playing on fucking TV in front of you? And there's the proof in the pudding to you. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't say anything. That was the thing between her and the judge. And then suddenly she's turned it all on him. You're a pig. You're a rat. You didn't stick up for me. You're not on the program. And she's out of there. She gets in the escalator and she fucks off. And then that Beck woman, there's 3 of them that walked out. 3 of them, not just fucking 2. They are not accountable. This proves it to you that they would rather break up with the man and rather than talking to the bloke, rather than being accountable for anything of their words or actions. He didn't agree with me completely. I'm out of here. Okay? It's horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. Why in the fuck, other than shagging them, other than fucking a bit of love out of them, well, what the fuck would you need them for? I don't understand the bonuses that they bring into the life. What does that person think the big bonus was coming into my life? What was the bonus? Okay? They don't cook, they don't clean, they argue fucking constantly, they spend their time ignoring you as much as fucking possible. They don't even want to fucking talk to you. And it's your fault. Your fault. Their actions, their words, but it's your fault. And the minute you go in there, the same thing will happen to me. The minute you go in there to try and get their attention to say, they cut you off. Within 2 or 3 words, they cut you off, gentlemen. They're not interested in listening to whatever you're saying. They'll cut your bitch ass off, mate, and tell you to go and do what I was told. Can't you take it? I would just, but I love you. I love you. Oh, I love you. You're such a good husband. You're so nice. You're so good. And then 20 minutes later, you're back to being ignored. And that's how they play. Okay? And if you're not getting any biscuit, boys, if any fucking biscuit at the end of the fucking thing, mate, it's hardly worth putting up with, is it? All right? You're not getting any biscuit, mate. What the fuck? How is that worth it? How is that a good trade-off?
Okay, you're not even getting anything, man. You don't cook, they don't clean, they don't talk to you, you don't get any sex. You're living like a fucking monk, but you're paying for everything. Okay, they turn you into a housemate. Okay, they turn you into a housemate. All right. They did it. You didn't do it. You didn't voluntarily come home and move your stuff into the spare room. You didn't voluntarily come home and do that. You got moved into the spare room, son. And then before that, just to make you feel fucking like shit, we're gonna record you when you sleep. We're going to record you. And then when you wake up in the morning, we're going to play the recordings for you. And we're going to make sure that you hear, look how you're snoring. See how you snored? And this woke me up. So, you really should go to the spare room. You'll be more comfortable in the spare room. The other time you get out of the shower and they try and embarrass you, and they'll have weights sitting there, electronic weights. And as you get out of the shower, she wants to weigh you. She thinks all of this is logical in her brain. All of this is normal in her brain. But it's to fuck with your brain. That's what they're trying to do. They don't care about that. They want to fuck with your brain. So now this fucking beautiful human being is weighing you every time you get out of the shower and telling you how fat you are. You're fat. Bitch, you got a fucking ass bigger than me. You got shoulders that are fucking bigger than me. But I'm not allowed to weigh you. Nobody weighs you, right? I said to her, why don't you weigh up? You want me to weigh up? Why don't you weigh up? Oh, no, I already weighed earlier. I already know what I am. I'm just concerned about how much weight you're gaining. So they, you know what I mean? Like, this is how they fuck with your brain, bro. This is how they get into your fucking brain. Just by these little things that they fucking do, right? I do it at Hursty, do it out of a learning, watch maths out of a learning perspective. A learning perspective. You're watching the whole thing carry out, learning. This is what they are like. This is a broad range of all of these women, right, across society, right? Look at them. Look how they act. Look how they talk. Look how they're treating their husbands. Look how easy it is to deceive them. Look how they get off. They will fall from the path like that. But at the same time, they'll look at their husbands and tell them they love them. They'll lie to their faces, man. I thought it was just me. I really did. But then you go and watch fucking these programs, man, and you can see it in front of you. Fucking that's how they treat their husband. Remember, that's why they're on the program, for a relationship and husband. They're not there for all of this other stuff. Yeah? But it's all encompassing to them. The marriage part doesn't exist. Everything else does. And then you've got the magic puppeteer at the front. You've got that magic Gia. She has got those puppet string fingers, bro. She knows exactly what the fuck sorry for swearing, she knows exactly what she was doing. And that one woman was able to destroy every single marriage that was on maths. That one woman. Okay? She was able to do it alone. Do it alone, man. Just break everybody up. Every single relationship she broke up in that the whole season. That is devil incarnate. That is a walking absolute biohazard. Okay? And you cannot wonder why, I don't like the way it ended up. Because that one person did everything she could to destroy everybody else's marriage. Everybody. Even supplying messages and saying to the girl, go and talk about this and I'll back you up and we'll do it together. And mate, when it came down to it, she kept her mouth closed and she put Juliet to the guillotine, to fucking guillotine that bird, man, and destroyed her marriage. The whole thing was to destroy the marriage, nothing else. And then she moved on to the next target and got that one. She destroyed every single marriage on maths. And that is how easy they are to be deceived and to deceive. Yeah.
Most likely on the show for their 5 minutes of thing, but they spent their entire time, in amongst this nightmarish. Anyway, the point of it is to watch how these women react to the situations that they're in. How did they react to it? What did And you can see what they did, man. The other one you want to watch is Cheetah Buster. Cheetah Buster AI on TikTok or YouTube. Cheetah Buster AI, and just watch this young guy. Watch these interviews, and he just interviews as the couple, and he went out on a date last week, because let's swap phones. Let's swap phones because men are so trusting that we don't even go through our wives or our girlfriends' phones. Because apparently they've got us to the point now where, oh, you can't do that because it's my phone, it's my property, rah, rah. The bitch is on fucking Bumble, man. She's gone fucking dates, like that. And that's how they get busted out, bro. That's how they get busted. This bitch is down on holidays, man, the whole thing with her boyfriend. Just go and watch Cheetah Buster AI, and that'll confirm to you that they will pretend in front of you, totally fake. They will tell you how much they love you and how great you are and will always be together, and the whole storyline, the same thing that I got fed, the same lines of bullshit and lies that I got fed. And yeah, it's the same thing. They will do it to your face, and behind your back they are stabbing you. They are looking for the opportunity to fucking totally ectate you, okay? Totally ectate you. Thank you, Plaz. Thank you for your wishes, mate. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you. I hope you are too, man. I hope you're well. I hope your life is good. So it looks like Mr. Spidey's back on it. He's back on the old shards, mate. He was spending a couple of nights ago, he was on the ticky and begging, mate, begging. I think they call it bags. I'm not sure. I don't know the terms for it. But he was willing to sell his social media to get a bag. So I don't know what that is. I'm just presuming that it's that. And then a few hours later, because he sold them all, he sold his social media platforms, dude. Like, who in the fuck's going to buy that, right? Some stupid fucking mong, mate, is going to buy a Spidey Tehran social media channel. I mean, what kind of schmuck is going to... What are you going to do with that? There's nothing you can fucking do with it, mate. It's not worth anything, right? So then he sold it, man. He sold it for the shard. He sold it for the shard, man. Fuck. So a few hours later, he's on the bed, mate. He's trying to run his finger along and see if he's running his finger along. See, like, oh my God, Father, fuck, no way. There's just no way, bro. You got to be shitting me, right? Far out, man. There's just no way. God. I was, just flabbergasted. Totally flabbergasted. So nothing changes, dude, even after all that time. Our today's youth are lost. They're lost. They really are. They're lost. And there's not a whole lot that government or whatever helps in any way. They don't. There's no job centres, bro. Come on, man. We both know that. It's not like the old days where you walk in and there's jobs available on the board and you take a job down and you apply for the job. It doesn't exist. Job agencies, bro, are nothing more than walking in, getting your name ticked off on the computer so that the agency gets paid. That is how they get paid. Okay? They don't put you for jobs. They don't have any fucking jobs. Okay? They're really good if you get a job and you need support, though. You need boots, clothing, you need petrol vouchers, you need clothing for it. Then they can help you for that. you know, because they will give you a $200 limit for boots, $100 limit for your uniform, you know, because safety jacket or something like that you need for that particular job. But that's it. That's it. You know, you're in there to get your name ticked off on the computer. Okay? Yeah, you take care, man. I think you too, man. Have a great day. Take care, Chad. Stay on path. You too, man. You enjoy your day, and I hope you got a girl in your life, and hope you get to be a dad one day. And like, I really, really do. I do hope that for the people that watch me. Good on you, man. Enjoy your day. I'm waiting for the old man to send me a message, tell me he's home. I'm going to drop a packet of smokos over to him, mate. They've increased. Yeah, so they increased. Huge. The cigarettes, $20 a pack now. Yeah, thanks for asking me, man. I appreciate when we are interactive in our comment section. Thank you for asking. Gold price. Nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change, okay? I've been thinking about it, right? We went through the Iraq War, Afghanistan War, all of these fucking wars America likes to have. Has the gold changed? It's gone up a couple of G's here and there. Nothing really. Here we are right now in the middle of Iran, okay? Middle of this big thing going on, okay? Has it changed? You know what I'm saying? Has it changed? Yeah. It hasn't fucking changed, man. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, we'll talk about each one, all right? Gold and silver first, you know. Mate, that is manipulated up the arse. I've got to go to the dunny. And it will never change. I'm sorry, boys. It will never, ever, ever change, okay? They'll always be able to manipulate it. And they'll always be able to get it at the price they want it to be at, which is the elites. Okay, it's the elites that control everything. Okay, those particular families, those that own the corporations, and they control everything in our lives, everything, including the oil. Okay, we can discuss that too, man. There's fucking heaps to discuss. Gold and silver will never change. It'll go up here and there, you know, just normal inflation price kind of thing. But it will never fly up to $20,000 an ounce or $30,000 an ounce or fucking whatever you're dreaming of. Silver will never get to $1,000 an ounce. It'll never be $500 an ounce or $600 an ounce. It'll never ever get there, ever. You're lucky if it goes over $100 fucking dollars, mate. People are out there celebrating when it gets to $120 for an ounce of silver. That's on the paper market. That's what I call the comics, which is the paper market. Okay, it's a paper commodities market, and that controls the price for the world. Okay. Now I know for a fact you can't buy silver for $76 an ounce. I know that for a fact, but we can't in Australia. We can't on my side of the world. I don't know what it's like in America itself at the mints, but as far as I've been, there's no $76 fucking silver. Okay, there's no mint that you can contact in America and get, you know, buffaloes for $76. Rah, rah. It doesn't exist. So they can make the price whatever they like. They can manipulate it and whatever they fucking want. Whether you can actually get it for that is a different matter. As far as I can tell, you can't. That's the weird part about this. We have a total disconnect from reality to paper price. It doesn't exist for $76. It's $180. It's $170. The cheapest that I could find was a panda for $150, a 1 ounce panda, 2015. Okay, that was the cheapest. The most expensive that I seen someone pay was $210 for a kookaburra. A fucking kookaburra. $210 for a kookaburra. Okay, your silver walking liberties are $170 on eBay. These are all eBay prices. So that's reality to me. That's frontline man-to-man reality. Okay, that's what me and you would be paying if we wanted to get an ounce fucking walking liberty. So
there's a big price difference, man, but it'll never change. They will always have control over the market.
So whatever price they want to drive it down to, they can. And if it starts to climb, if it starts to get really good and starts to rocket, what do you think they do? How do you think the manipulation is so fucking bad? What do they do as a reaction once it starts fucking?
They close the fucking thing. They close the whole thing.
They close it. You understand? So as soon as it starts fucking, the whole COMEX closes.
Closes. It can never change.
It'll never change. Why? Why? Because you've got these multi-billionaires that are buying up.
And that's what they're paying. They're paying the $76, bro. They're buying it through the contracts.
They're getting it through the contracts. They're driving the price down to $76, and then instead of just holding the contracts or moving the contracts forward, you know what I mean? They call the contract in. So those particular corporations, your JP Morgan, all the big boys, man, all the big boys, okay, the ones that are allowed to play on COMEX, they put their contracts in and they're able to grab the metal for $76 an ounce. They are. You're not. You're not. And it'll only last when COMEX have run out of metal. You see, they're going to run out of metal. They had 500,000 ounces of thing, and then everyone puts their contracts in. It gets drained and drained and drained. Now they're down to 90 million ounces or something like that. The last time that I looked, I can't be fucking bothered anymore. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered fucking watching just this non-stop manipulation, and we have no chance as normal people. You buy metal because you like metal, okay?
That's why you buy metal. That's why a stacker buys metal, because they like the metal.
They like to hold the metal,
okay?
Normal people don't do that. They're programmed for paper. That's what they're programmed for. They look at your metal and they don't even see anything.
They just think it's stupid. They think it's just what the fuck waste of money is that? That's how they look at it. It's a waste of money to them, you see?
So you can't, there's nothing you can change. You won't be able to change their perspective. And don't even try. Don't even bother trying. Because you just give up your entire position for nothing. You've told them everything you're doing
for nothing. You know, they'll walk away knowing a whole bunch of information about you that they really shouldn't know. And they're not going to do anything good with it. They'll only do something bad. So that's when you'll get broken into. That's when you'll have shit happen in your life.
Because they don't want to do it, but they'll steal it. They'll gladly steal it from you, man. Okay?
They'll gladly do that.
Yeah, but you're only getting, you're getting COMEX price.
What the fuck you want to sell any coins to any dealer for? Okay? Well, why would you walk into a pawn shop to sell fucking gold or silver? You know, you're only going to get COMEX price.
That's it. He just looks up on the computer and says COMEX price. The one that's opposite the Frankston railway station, mate, is even worse.
Even fucking worse. You go in and you put a buffalo in his hand.
I put a buffalo in his hand just to see what he was going to do. Mate, they offered spot scrap price.
Spot scrap price.
I said to the guy, okay, then how much is that? He says $23 an ounce. I said, are you kidding me? It's a Liberty, it's a walking Liberty, American Liberty. No, 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 that's all we pay. And this was at $90 an ounce. I said, it's an ounce of silver. I said, are you sure about that? And he's gone, yeah, we only pay spot price. That's it, spot scrap, spot, however they put it. So they offered me jack shit. I went around to the one around the corner, and he's straight away punched up on the computer, $80. That's what he's offering. He's offering you 80 Australian. Okay, I was totally broke, so I had to sell a couple of coins. I was totally skint, and that's all that I had on offer. So I sold the Liberty and the Buffalo, just to get some money in my pocket, so I wasn't totally broke. I didn't come onto the stream and tell the stream or whatever, because you guys will just laugh at me. You guys will, you just fucking try and make fun of my life. So
there's no point in showing people when you're down, because they really, really like it when you're down, okay? They're not going to help you. They're not going to do anything to improve your life. Like my stream is not going to, there's nothing, I'm lucky for $10 in PayPal every now and again, mate. I'm lucky. And I don't even bother asking anymore. So I know better than to come on and ask and rah, 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 rah. I know better than to do that, because I'm going to open myself up to a whole bunch of ridicule for absolutely fucking nothing. For nothing. They'll still look at you and go, oh, well, you still got $80. You know what I'm saying? They'd rather you sell your personal property, mate, rather than that. And we're all in the same boat. So I didn't even bother for a Buffalo and $80 for a walking Liberty. And that's the only two that I've plundered, man. That's it. So, in the real world, man, normal everyday walking around shit, that's what they're gonna offer you. They're gonna offer you the comics price. Okay? So in my eyes, unless you're paying $25, $30 an ounce, it's not worth buying. I don't know who these fucking idiots are that are paying $170 for a walking Liberty. I don't know who these fools, like that's how I regard them, a bit foolish, who would spend, $210 on a kookaburra. You're never going to get it back. You're never going to get it back. You'll never get your $210, whatever, plus postage, whatever. You're never going to get it back. Okay, so that covers gold and silver. It's just manipulated up the arse. And, when they say to you it's gone down, it's gone down. It hasn't fucking gone down. It was $35 an ounce, mate. Buy it now on eBay a few years back for walking Liberties, Buffaloes, kookaburras. Shit, dude, I remember when it went up to 50 and everybody's celebrating, and then they slammed it back down again. Everybody's panicked on eBay and they're selling their fucking coins, bro. They're selling their ounces, man. Buy it now for $30. Buy it now. I was buying silver shields, silver bullets, mate, coins for $35. Buy it now. You know what I mean? Like nowadays they want $220. They want $220 on eBay for that coin. Who the fuck's going to pay for that? Yeah? Who's going to buy that? How you doing, Dawson? I hope you're well, man. Well, I don't know what Bitcoin is. I've got no idea for what the imaginary bullshit coin is. For me, it's just absolute bullshit. It's just fake as they come. It's just the first one out of the rank, and it's mainly controlled by the government. Bitcoin, it's majoritively owned by the government. You can look it up yourself. There is back doors everywhere through it. Don't think you're safe or secure or whatever. Plenty of exchanges get robbed and closed down, and they end up robbing the client. So many exchanges I've seen do that. Rug pull. They rug pull every fucking coin that they get hold of. Bitcoin's the same thing, man. It's just managed and held up because there's so much government control in it. That's basically it. That's why it's still available, because the government owns more Bitcoin than anybody else. The government, the US government. It got all of the Silk Road. It got all of the Silk Road Bitcoin. It got all of the other, the guy that ordered hundreds of millions of crypto. He was living in Philippine fucking Fort Knox. And the only way they got him was by crashing a car into his house. And he came out to ask about what was going on. And that's the only way they fucking got him. Okay? So there's two big players that were doing it. The US government busted both of them and got their Bitcoin. So hundreds and hundreds of millions of Bitcoin. The government owns a lot of fucking Bitcoin. Okay, I think there's millions and millions of them owned. So I don't fucking trust it at all. There's nothing secure in this world, mate. There's fucking nothing. Okay, I learnt that years ago, years and years ago. In Australia, there's no such thing as VPN. It's just a fucking something else for you to pay for. But in reality, it doesn't exist because all the companies in Australia, the information, everything that you put on a computer for 3 years, by law. Okay, everything you do, it doesn't matter if you go through a VPN or not. They can contact the company and demand whatever they want, and if they don't get it, they'll close your company down. It's as simple as that. Okay, so that's the law here. We've got the laws in Australia. We're the most fucking controlled nation on earth, other than China. If you went to China and you come to Australia, you'd see they're basically the same, except we have a lot more rules here. We really do. We have a ton more fucking laws than even they do in China. Okay. Oil. That's going to be our main problem. The oil. Yeah? Control over the oil. In Australia, we're in a bit of problems, man. All the Western worlds are. We don't manufacture petrol anymore. There's no manufacturing here. It's bought in so what are we going to do? I don't know. Most of our oil comes from Asia. It doesn't come from fucking Iran. Yeah, it just doesn't come from there. It may originate there or whatever, but it doesn't come anywhere. Also, the Strait of Hormuz is not closed. It's not fucking closed. Any country can go in and buy oil. All you got to do is use yuan. They're demanding to be paid in Chinese yuan, the American dollar. Any country can go in and buy oil, mate. Okay, Iran is happy to do business with you. Okay, they just don't want to buy it in American money. Okay, so all of these ships that are going through, that's because they're from India or, all these other countries, Asia, Thailand, all of these countries that are buying oil, mate. They're buying it in, not in US money, not in the US dollar, okay? America's not into war with Iran for oil. That's just stupidity for you to believe that. Because, they'll say that, right? But on the other hand, they'll say that we're the biggest manufacturer of oil in the world. Look on the graph. We manufacture more oil than anybody. And yet here he is on the other side of the coin says, oh no, we need to go in there and make sure the oil's secure and, for our future. And so I don't believe Trump. He's a fucking liar. The guy's an outright liar. Okay? They don't have any fucking oil. They don't have any oil. I think Trump would have solved that years ago if they had oil, bro. They have no strategic reserves, the same as Australia. Our strategic reserves, mate, is old, dirty, unusable oil, unusable petrol. That's why it hasn't been sold. It's been sitting in the tanks. All the shit fucking petrol. Well, now they're going to dump that onto the market, mate. They're going to dump that fucking shit petrol onto the market. And they're going to charge $2.50 a litre. The last time I went around the corner to the supermarket, it was $2.49 a litre. Okay, $2.49 a litre. So that's unleaded. I didn't look at the other petrol prices. Sorry, man. I just looked at seen the sign. Diesel is the one that I should have looked at, eh? I should have looked at the diesel. So America's not over there for oil. And I don't think America would be there without Ishmael. So it's not America's target. It's not America's future that they're there for. They're there for Ishmael. And they will destroy everything in Ishmael's name. Totally. These people seem to think they're in some kind of demigod, you know, Mogog, Magog, whatever the fuck they're thinking, generation, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And, we're going to initiate the next temple. Their big target is to get rid of that temple, bro, so they can build their own temple. They've got to build that third temple. Okay, without the third temple, they can't get their Messiah to appear, and which is our Antichrist, which is what they're busting to get onto the scene. So they're going to do everything they can to encourage Messiah's return. I know, right? It's got nothing to do with oil, okay? But they need control over the entire region, mate. That's just how Ishmael is. Ishmael will not stop until they have control over every fucking country around them. And if they can't get it, they'll destroy it. They'll destroy everything, okay, to get it. It has nothing to do with the oil. It has everything to do with the power of the world. Who controls that side of the world? Who is in control? And they want the control, okay, because they're a petrodollar. They're a petrodollar. They're controlled by petro, right? Petroleum. If they don't have that under their control, man, they lose their dollar power. If the oil is sold in Chinese yuan, and say we've got 10% oil sales in yuan, and then it climbs from there, it goes more. Imagine it. Your currency is based on petrodollar, but the only petrodollar you've got is what's in your country, because you no longer got Saudi Arabia. You haven't got all of these oil-producing countries giving you fucking oil for safety. That's the reason you got your army bases there, and you got all this fucking shit surrounding them to offer them safety. But you're not giving them any safety. Their countries are being decimated. Everything is being destroyed. So it's all starting to unravel. It'll unravel in the future. The US will lose all of its bases in the Middle East. I'm imagining that. I'm imagining them just turning. These countries will turn on the Americans, because you're no longer offering safety, you're offering death. They're coming to destroy now. So they're going to destroy the bases, they will destroy the petroleum, they'll destroy the oil tankers, the manufacturing part of it. Imagine that. They destroy all the manufacturing. They're already doing it. They're doing it now. My tobacco's gone up to $20 a pack. It's already affecting me. My double happy has gone up $5 a pack. Oh fuck. Yeah, my double happy. Yeah. But we're fucked, mate, as normal people. As the normal citizens, mate, expect everything to go through the roof, price-wise. I'm sorry, man, but everything, because everything needs petrol, it all needs diesel, and it needs petrol to get to you and me, and transport and all kind of thing. So expect it all to go through the roof, all the price rise, everything. And it'll give these corporations the legal thing to up. Everything will go up, everything. Our electricity, our gas. You think you're paying a lot now. Wait. Just wait, man. Because you'll be living by fucking candles. It'll be that expensive for you to turn a light on. Okay? That expensive for you to cook a meal on your fucking with your gas. It's going to be very, very expensive. Because we don't manufacture anything in Australia, the Western world or whatever. We send it over, it gets refined, and when we buy it back. So, But as far as I know, we don't really rely a lot on Iranian oil, Australia, as far as I can tell. Either does America. You know, America doesn't either. All you know what I mean? It's all of these other countries that do. Um, so America will want to take it all over the whole Middle East, the whole region of that world. Will get taken over. I wish I was more computer savvy because I've watched these few videos of why they said in their countries, well, America is going to go totally broke. It's going to go totally, it's going to be totally devastated financially. They're already asking for $200 billion for the ground invasion of Iran. $200 billion for the ground invasion. So that's you know, just more money, more money, more money, mate. Okay, for and all it is, bro. The whole country can go to shit, but as long as they're still doing their wars and still doing their bombings and taking over land and taking over resources, it all makes sense to them, the political leaders, the ones that are able to get into the country and install their fucking shit in their corporations to take the resources out. It makes sense to them because that's the job that they're in. That's their world. The normal person's world has got nothing to do with their world. They're multi-millionaires. They don't have to worry about the price of petrol or whatever. They don't have to worry about that. You know, you'll find that attitude with rich people, bro. You know, they don't have to care about a fucking $14 steak, okay? Because they're rich. They got money. So they don't care. They don't even see it, okay? You know, they live in a different thing than you and me. No, I don't have to do anything today. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's Friday, so no. And I generally don't even leave the house because it costs me money to go out of the fucking house. So I don't have any spare paper or whatever, so I don't bother even going out of the fucking house. The old man calls me or sends me a message and, you know, I'm home, would you mind dropping over, rah rah, so I pop over, that's about it. It doesn't cost me anything to go there. I get him a packet of smokes on the way, he's happy. That's life. Stay happy, healthy and well, boys, okay? And I wish you all the best in your adventures in life. Try and be careful, try and be mindful, and try and think of whatever their motivations are ahead of time. Don't believe what they tell you to your face. It's just as simple as that, because they will look at you and absolutely lie to your face. And they will tell you how much they love you and how much they're loyal to you and how, you know, you're a good this and you're good that. And the whole time they'll be planning your exit. Okay? They'll be planning your exit, bro. It's just a matter of time. You know, you know, it's sad as how it's sad, whatever. I'm sorry to put it that way to you. And oh shit, having it lean up against that wasn't a good idea, was it? Dang, man. I forgot I boiled the kettle and the phone's sitting up against it. Dang. It's that wasn't a good idea. I'll just wait for this to cool down a bit. Stay well and I'm going to go and drop over this packet of smokes. Have a productive day if you can. When I come back, I've got 3 raws there, 3 WGs to get stuck into. So I'll get them painted up and get some hair and get them. I got the hair the other day in the mail. I've got the hair. So I'll be able to do the hair on the WGs now proper. That's cooled down a bit now. But enjoy your day. Stay out of trouble, okay? And don't do anything that I wouldn't do. God bless all of you, gentlemen. I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed adventure in your life, and I hope you get to do the things you want to go and do and live happily. You know, have an existence that's happy. And if you're not with someone that doesn't make you happy, mate, you need to get out of there, okay? And don't sign any paperwork. Don't think that you can change anything or live in hope that you can change your marriage or change your relationship for better. Because once they're on a path, they don't change. They don't change. They just try and hammer that path If you need proof, man, just watch maths. Just watch these programs for an educational point of view, and you'll see that these women they're not healthy, bro. They're not. They're looking for any kind of thing to get on top of you, okay? And it's quite sad, to be honest, because the husbands, were wanting wives. They didn't come on the show to spend these time in weeks and time and in arguments and back and forth negativity all the time. That's not what they went on the program for, but they spent their entire time, and at the end of the day they ended up with nothing. I don't even think they got to actually have relations with their wives. Even I don't even think these women put out. I don't even think I don't even think that. I think there might have been an occasional one, maybe, but the rest of them, no. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, enjoy your day, boys. Stay out of your trouble, and I'll go and drop this packet of smokes off, man. But stay happy, healthy, and well, ways. Okay. Yeah. Stay happy, healthy, and well always.